Jordan, a lot of teams kind of seek out this kind of scenario, situational training like the last few minutes that played out there. Was a bit disappointing not to get it done, or were you not too worried about the end result there?
Oh, I mean, you always want to win, don't you? But for us, it was more about coming here and making sure our process was right, more so than the outcome. Making sure we were setting ourselves up really strongly for round zero, and of course giving enough respect to the opposition. And as you say, it was pretty nice to get ourselves in a little bit of a tussle in the last couple of minutes where we can potentially try and execute some of the plans we put in place through the summer around tight finishes and expose some of our lesser experienced guys to a pressure situation.
Craig said on the pre-match that he wanted to be driving home, thinking that some of the young Collingwood players who had a chance today could well be part of this team going forward. Who did you see that impressed you out there?
Oh, there were a number. I mean, it's one of the things we focused on through the pre-season was clearly we had some experience leave our program last year, at the end of last year, and we needed to find some depth and make sure we had some players that were capable of coming into the team and performing at AFL level. And I thought there were some guys that really stood out today and showed, hopefully there's some Collingwood fans at home that saw these guys display some things, like a bloke like Oscar Steens had a really powerful pre-season. I thought Joel Cochran performed at a pretty high level today. Will Parker the same. Even at the end of the game to have Ty Prindable come on, Sam Swaddling show his stuff on the wing. It was a pretty exciting day for us. So there are a number of guys. Today is not the only time we've seen that from them, but for them to be able to come out at AFL level and perform the way they did, I thought that I think Flyby driving down the highway back to Melbourne pretty happy tonight.
Craig also mentioned that there was a group that did training this morning at the club, and they were the senior players. Can you confirm that they all made it through that training?
Yeah, they did, Phoebe. There were a lot of guys who trained this morning, and I mean, I didn't see any of it, but I'm told they all got through a pretty big session. And again, it's an interesting time. I mean, we're 7 days out from round zero, so it's about trying to make sure that our whole playing group is exposed to the right lead into the season. And they all got through training really well, which is a nice balance. I mean, we've had the majority of our list now play an AFL game in the last 2 weeks, and hopefully that gives us a really good lead into the season, and getting some experience into some younger players will hold us in good stead across the course of the season.
Obviously, Darcy Moore and Jeremy Howard aren't available. Is Joel Cochran the likely person to come in?
Oh, we're not going to jump into next week just yet, I don't think. I think we'll stay into today, and I was wrapped with Joel's performance as the backs coach. I think he's, as I said, it's not today in isolation. I take a lot of comfort that if and when his name is called, he'll be ready to put on a Collingwood jumper and look like an AFL player. I think he looked really comfortable in the system and was supported by some of our more experienced defenders today, and just being able to go out there and execute his role. It's always nice to see a young kid kick a goal as well, so he's had a good summer.
Three key forwards, McStay, Buller and West, all hit the scoreboard, all laid tackles inside 50. Is that a combination that you can see playing together in opening round?
Again, I'd prefer not to jump into opening round. They were great today. I thought clearly not a day that necessarily suited the key forwards for either team, but as you say, hit the scoreboard, really mobile group, and were able to pressure when we needed them to. So I'm sure round zero, round two, round three, we'll probably see an attack like that at some stage. And again, nice that they could all come out and contribute and show some fight and some system today.
Is it difficult having like 10 of you, well, say 6 of your players who are probably going to be selected for next week, just working out the system and playing the system with that gap, if that makes sense?
Been the challenge for us, I think, as a coaching group and as a playing group. As I said, the experience that left, we needed to make sure the players that came into our program, whether they were first year in the program or first pre-season, or they've been here for a year or two, making sure that these guys are continuing to bridge that gap between the experienced and the lesser experienced. And you obviously don't get chances to do that until these trial matches against an opposition. When you're playing against yourselves and training against yourselves, it can be difficult because you know exactly what you're trying to take away from your teammates. So again, I just thought it was really nice to see these guys come out today and perform and again look like Collingwood and look the way we want to look for the main part of for the majority of the game.
What does the next, I suppose, 6-7 days look like? Anything change? What happens?
No, again, I think Jared Wade and the high performance team have been really meticulous in how they've approached the last fortnight and making sure that with the 7-day lead in that we were getting the right amount of load and training or game exposure into the players we needed to. So we've got great trust, and I know Craig does it, that we're setting the players up the right way. So I mean, the approach doesn't doesn't change for us. It's about recovering for the next 48 hours and then making sure we're primed. And I mean, you talk to our players, they've been sick of pre-season for the last few weeks and they're ready to get out there and be under the big lights at the MCG. So we're excited for next Sunday and what that's going to bring.
If you're a defensive coach, did you take off kick yesterday? See the guy coming out of the square?
Yeah, certainly did. It's it's an exciting time of year for us and for the competition to see what changes have sort of occurred over the course of the pre-season, and watch yesterday's game with interest, and again excited for the challenge of making sure we're set up and prepared as best we can be for next week, and the game gives you feedback. The next week will be interesting and the week after that will be as well, so we're excited and chomping in the bit to get into it.